The internet didn't just wake up today. It detonated. Chrisean Rock thought she could play the game, but baby, Lemmy just flipped the entire chessboard live on camera. We're talking about a leak so wild it made the Zeus Network subscription servers crash harder than Blueface's last relationship. Lemmy came in swinging with the kind of "I've had enough" energy that could power the national grid, and by the end of his rant, the internet was on fire, Bino was barking, and Chrisean was somewhere trying to find the Wi-Fi to respond. This isn't your regular drama. This is biblical betrayal with better lighting. The Kardashians wish they had this level of chaos. Lemmy didn't just expose her. He aired out the receipts, the messages, and the whole group chat. Bino, of course, wasn't about to sit quietly. He jumped in hotter than a jalapeno in July, dragging everyone from the DMs to the driveway. The comments section turned into a courtroom, and every fan became a detective with popcorn dots, so buckle up, because this isn't gossip anymore. This is buzz crash, where secrets scream, loyalty evaporates, and Chrisean's halo just turned into a Wi-Fi router for scandal. The internet didn't even get a chance to stretch before chaos clocked in early. 1 minute, fans were minding their business. The next minute, Lemmy Plummer, the Zeus boss himself, decided to drop receipts like thunder. He didn't whisper. He roared. The man looked down with peace treaties and ready for televised destruction. The headline hit faster than caffeine. Lemmy exposes Chrisean Rock. And within seconds, phones started vibrating like alarms in a hurricane. Everyone thought Lemmy was bluffing. They said, he won't risk it, Chrisean's Zeus gold. But baby, Lemmy came with screenshots, timestamps, and that tone of a man who's been holding tea for too long. He called her unprofessional, reckless, and disloyal to the brand. The words hit like bullets wrapped in corporate language. People froze mid-scroll. Because when the CEO starts airing out talent, you know somebody's NDA just burst into flames. The clips flooded TikTok before Lemmy even logged off. His live had more viewers than an NBA playoff game. Fans spammed the chat with popcorn emojis, while industry folks slid into comments pretending they weren't watching. The man didn't just spill tea, he built a whole swimming pool of it. He accused Chrisean of leaking private conversations, lying about contracts, and creating fake chaos for clout. Irony? That chaos was now trending worldwide. Meanwhile, Chrisean was silent, the kind of silence that hums louder than sound. She hadn't posted, hadn't gone live, hadn't thrown a punch or a prayer. The whole internet waited like a live audience staring at a locked stage door. Even Blueface's name started trending again, because you can't say Chrisean without dragging that history back from the grave. Memes popped up saying, Blueface somewhere eating popcorn like a proud parent. It was ugly, funny, and addictive all at once. Lemmy wasn't done. He doubled down, saying he'd protected Chrisean long enough and was tired of being painted as the villain. He claimed he helped her rise, funded her projects, defended her tantrums, and this was how she repaid him? The audience gasped through their screens. You could almost hear the collective, oh, not the betrayal arc. Because when a boss starts talking like a heartbroken ex, the storyline writes itself. Then came the part that blew the roof clean off. Lemmy hinted there were legal matters involved. That phrase alone is social media gasoline. Bloggers went into overdrive. Screenshots surfaced of contracts, emails, and snippets of behind-the-scenes footage from the baddies set. Every influencer suddenly became an attorney. Everyone had theories. Some swore Lemmy was covering his tracks, others said Chrisean really had crossed a line. But nobody could stop watching. Enter Who Trophy Bino, Chrisean's on-again, off-again chaos companion. He saw Lemmy's rant and said, bet. Within an hour he was live too, shirt off, voice hoarse, calling her a snitch, a fraud, and a backdoor operator. The internet split like Moses parting the sea. Half sided with Chrisean, yelling, they always gang up on her. The other half said, nah, she finally got caught. It wasn't a debate, it was a digital riot. Bino claimed Chrisean had snitched on Zeus executives to bloggers, feeding them fake stories about cast fights and pay gaps. He swore she tried to set him up to look violent so she could play victim. Every sentence felt like gasoline on a bonfire. Fans flooded the comments begging for proof. And Bino said, I got it all. Within minutes, he dropped a voice note that sounded like chaos on a loop, shouting, arguing in one voice that did sound suspiciously like hers. The crowd lost it. Twitter turned into a battlefield of hot takes. Lemmy and Bino teaming up? That's the Avengers of toxicity, one fan tweeted. Others joked, Chrisean must have hit the wrong group chat again. Memes came flying in faster than facts. Somebody even edited Lemmy's face onto Judge Judy's body with the caption, "Court is now in session." The comment sections became war zones, and no one was neutral. Every scroll was another punchline. Behind the laughter, though, was tension. Because if Bino was telling the truth, that meant Chrisean had burned every bridge in 1 week. Zeus, Lemmy, Bino, the fans all gone. And if he was lying? Then two men just teamed up to assassinate her character in 4K. Either way, she was losing sleep, sponsorships, and sympathy in real time. It was a public undressing, raw, merciless, addictive. Insiders from Zeus started leaking anonymous DMs to blogs, claiming the footage Lemmy mentioned is real. They hinted at secret recordings, off-camera fights, and production meetings that turned into shouting matches. One producer allegedly said, "She thinks she's bigger than the show." Another source fired back, saying, "They used her and now they're done." Nobody knew the truth, but everybody wanted to. Meanwhile, fans began noticing something eerie. Old Chrisean clips resurfaced where she bragged about knowing too much and said she could end careers. Those words aged faster than milk. The internet dug deeper, pulling receipts from every live she'd ever done. Little by little, her empire of unpredictability started cracking. The very chaos that made her famous was now eating her alive. The final straw of Part 01 came when Lemmy posted one line to his story. "Everything done in the dark eventually streams in HD." That caption alone sent shockwaves through social media. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. Fans flooded Chrisean's page demanding answers, but she stayed quiet. Too quiet. And in the silence, the world realized something. This wasn't a regular feud. This was a power war between a network, a star, and a man with nothing left to lose. By midnight, hashtags #LEMMY vs Chrisean and #BINospeaks were breaking records. YouTubers dropped hour-long breakdowns, podcasts titled episodes "The Fall of Rock," and gossip pages started counting followers lost and gained like stock prices. Every click was currency. Every view was blood. The internet didn't care who was right, it just wanted more, because in the new age of fame, truth isn't what you prove. It's what goes viral first. And Chrisean's truth was now fighting for its life. By the next morning, the internet was in full meltdown mode. Nobody was talking about anything else. Not new music, not Fashion Week, not even Kanye's latest rant, because Lemmy, Bino, and Chrisean had hijacked the timeline like a digital hostage situation. Hashtags were multiplying faster than a Kardashian marriage, and the algorithm couldn't keep up. The scandal wasn't just trending, it was breaking records. Every gossip blog, reaction channel, and think piece creator turned this into their Super Bowl. Lemmy woke up and chose violence again. He went live for round 2, sipping coffee like a man who'd slept perfectly fine after detonating someone's career. His voice was calm but dangerous, the kind that could start wars quietly. He said he didn't regret a thing. He talked about boundaries, loyalty, and betrayal, but the undertone was pure pettiness dressed in professionalism. Fans called it corporate shade, the most lethal kind. Then, mid-sentence, he dropped another bomb. "Y'all haven't seen half of it. I got recordings, documents, and emails that would make y'all rethink who's the victim." The chat exploded. That one sentence turned every viewer into a detective. People started digging, zooming into screenshots, matching timestamps, and analyzing Lemmy's tone like it was forensic evidence. Reddit threads popped up within minutes, titled Project Zeus, The Chrisean Files. Theories flew left and right. Some said Lemmy was bluffing for clout, others claimed he was sitting on nuclear-level receipts. The digital storm only intensified. Chrisean finally broke her silence, but not with a post with a messy, emotional Instagram live that lasted over an hour. Her voice cracked between anger and heartbreak. She called Lemmy a snake, accused Bino of using her name for clout, and swore she'd been loyal to everyone. "I ain't snitch on nobody," she yelled, eyes red and raw. "They trying to flip the story 'cause I told the truth." The comments were split, half comforting her, half calling her out. Screenshots of her live hit Twitter before she even ended it. Bino saw the live and couldn't resist. He jumped back online like a man auditioning for Zeus' next reality show. Shirt off again, eyes bloodshot, pacing like a rapper rehearsing bars. "Ain't no cap here," he shouted. "She played all of us, Lemmy, me, everybody." Then he played another voice note. It wasn't clear, but fans swore they heard Chrisean say something about feeding stories to Shade Room. Whether it was edited or not didn't matter, perception was already locked. The crowd believed what trended first, not what was true. Memes turned savage. One post showed Lemmy Bino and Chrisean photoshopped onto the Love and Hip Hop reunion couch with the caption, "Zeus After Dark, Betrayal Edition." Another meme read, "Chrisean got exposed so bad even her Wi-Fi disconnected." The internet was having the time of its life, and Chrisean was losing hers in real time. Every scroll felt like a punch. Every repost was salt in the wound. Other celebrities started chiming in. Natalie Nunn threw shade in a cryptic post. "Some people bite the hand that fed them, then cry when the table flips." Tamar Braxton commented under a fan post with a simple popcorn emoji. Cardi B went live and said, "Man, y'all gotta stop mixing business with messy." Even Blueface couldn't help himself, he tweeted, "Told y'all she hard-headed." That tweet alone set off another storm. Fans dragged him for hypocrisy while others said he'd been warning everyone all along. The man didn't have to say much, Chaos spoke his language fluently. Lemmy doubled down again. He posted a quote graphic that read, "Don't call it exposing when it's just the truth with proof." The caption? God bless. He didn't tag Chrisean, didn't need to. Everyone knew who he was talking about. That level of shade should have been illegal. Within minutes, Zeus' official account started trending too. People began tagging the network, demanding answers. Some fans threatened to cancel their subscriptions, others said, "This is why we stay subscribed." The controversy became the best advertisement Zeus never had to pay for. Behind the scenes, insiders leaked that Lemmy had allegedly locked down Chrisean's upcoming projects. They claimed contracts were under review, episodes might be shelved, and her footage was on pause. That one leak sent the internet spiraling again. "Not Chrisean getting canceled on her own network," one fan joked. Others called it karma. Either way, she was cornered legally, publicly, emotionally. Every path she had left was lined with cameras. The drama got so wild, even rival networks jumped in. A bet producer tweeted, "This the kind of chaos we can't afford, and that's saying something." Bloggers were writing faster than their laptops could handle. YouTubers titled their reaction videos things like "The Day Chrisean Rock's Career Imploded" and "Lemmy's Revenge Explained." Every word, every frame, every soundbite was being monetized. The world wasn't just watching. It was cashing in. Chrisean's loyal fans tried defending her, starting the hashtag #ProtectChrisEan, but it didn't stand a chance against hashtag #LEMMY leaks and hashtag BINO bombs. Every time someone posted in her defense, 3 more memes popped up dragging her back into the mud. Even verified accounts joined in on the trolling. It was cyber war with no ceasefire. And Chrisean was the battlefield. At this point, reality blurred into theater. Nobody knew what was real, what was edited, or what was revenge. The story had become entertainment. People tuned in not for truth, but for adrenaline. Lemmy and Bino had mastered the art of controlling the narrative. Feed the chaos, let the world do the rest. Chrisean's pain became their profit, and every click was another dollar made off her downfall. Late that night, Bino posted one last line that froze timelines again. It's all documented. Wait till Lemmy drops part 2. The internet gasped in unison. What could possibly be left to reveal? The answer didn't matter. The cliffhanger alone was enough to keep millions scrolling. That's the thing about modern fame. Scandals don't need closure. They just need traction. And as the night fell, Lemmy's last words from his lab echoed across every feed. If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't cry when it slaps back. It wasn't just petty, it was poetic. The King of Zeus had spoken, the fans had chosen sides. And Chrisean Rock's crown had officially cracked under the weight of her own chaos. By the time the smoke began to settle, it wasn't smoke anymore, it was a full-blown wildfire that had scorched every corner of the internet. The hashtags were still trending, but now they carried exhaustion instead of excitement. Fans weren't even debating who was right. They were debating who had survived. Chrisean's name wasn't just a topic, it was a timeline. A documentary, a digital cautionary tale about what happens when fame starts feeding on itself. Lemmy and Bino had turned her chaos into currency, and the world had paid an attention. Chrisean finally returned with a new life. No makeup, no filters, just fury and fatigue mixed in equal parts. Her voice cracked, but her tone had steel in it. "I built myself," she said. "Nobody made me. They used me, and when I stopped being their storyline, they tried to bury me." The comments went insane. Some called it powerful, others called it delusional. But for the first time since the scandal began, she wasn't crying, she was calling out names. Lemmy, Bino, Zeus, nobody was safe. Every sentence was a headline waiting to explode. Within hours. Clips from her live hit Twitter, and the editing was ruthless. Every pause, every tear, every shaky breath became a meme or a gif. The internet doesn't forgive. It repackages. Someone cut her speech over dramatic piano music and titled it Chrisean Rock, The Rise and Fall. Others layered it with trap beats and turned her breakdown into a viral sound. You could almost hear the clicks turning into money. It was heartbreak turned into hustle, and the audience ate it up. Meanwhile, Lemmy went silent, which was even scarier than his shade posts. Insiders whispered that lawyers were involved, contracts frozen. And Zeus executives were now in crisis management mode. Some fans said Lemmy had gone too far, that exposing a star publicly was bad business. Others said he played it perfectly, turning Chrisean's downfall into Zeus' biggest promotion of the year. One tweet summed it up best. Lemmy didn't expose Chrisean, he exposed how reality TV really works. The comment had 1 million likes. Bino, however, wasn't letting go. He kept posting cryptic stories, screenshots of unread messages, audio waveforms with no sound, captions like "proof always wins." He was feeding the algorithm like a man obsessed with staying relevant. Every post from him reignited the fire, and every response from Chrisean threw gas on it. The drama had stopped being about truth. It had become about survival. Each person was fighting to control the version of the story that would live longest online. In the midst of chaos, other Zeus cast members began speaking up. Some sided with Lemmy, calling Chrisean a liability, saying she brought this on herself. Others defended her, claiming Lemmy exploited her for ratings and turned her into a villain when she wanted out. The narrative split right down the middle. It was no longer just gossip. It had evolved into a cultural debate about exploitation, power, and fame addiction. Everyone had an opinion, but nobody had the facts. Then came the video. Out of nowhere, a 30-second clip leaked showing an off-camera argument between Chrisean and Lemmy during production. The two were shouting, with Bino's voice faintly in the background. Lemmy was accusing her of causing damage to the brand. Chrisean snapped back, yelling, "I am the brand." That one line became legendary. It went viral across every platform, reposted by influencers, celebrities, even rival networks. Fans captioned it, "When you realize you're bigger than the machine that built you." It was powerful, unpolished, and instantly iconic. That clip changed everything. Suddenly, sympathy started shifting. The same fans who had been dragging Chrisean began calling her a survivor of media manipulation. They said Lemmy had used her pain as ratings bait and dumped her when she stopped cooperating. Think pieces flooded YouTube, titles like "The Exploitation of Chrisean Rock" and "Zeus Network's Dark Side." Overnight, the villain became the victim, or at least, the misunderstood anti-hero. Lemmy's silence became his weakness. The internet decided that quiet meant guilt. Every day he stayed offline, the narrative tilted further in Chrisean's favor. Zeus' social media accounts started getting flooded with negative comments, fans demanding refunds, calling the network toxic television. Other celebrities joined the pile-on, dropping vague sympathy posts with captions like "Protect Black women in entertainment." Lemmy had gone from power player to punching bag in record time. Chrisean took that energy and ran with it. She started posting again, calm, composed, strategic. Every post came with a caption dripping in poetic irony. "You can't cancel what was never fake. Truth don't need PR. Keep watching, I'm still the headline." The shift was genius. She wasn't fighting anymore, she was feeding off the attention. The more they talked, the more her influence grew. What looked like career suicide in week 1 became a rebranding in week 4. Then came the ultimate twist. Lemmy's so-called second drop never happened. No recordings, no documents, no bombshells, nothing. Fans started mocking him, tweeting, "We waited for part 2 like it was a Drake album that never dropped." Meanwhile, Bino started fading from the conversation altogether. The man who once screamed on live every night suddenly had nothing new to say. His followers dropped, his mentions went quiet. The internet had chosen its new queen of chaos again. Chrisean rocked out by the time the dust really cleared. Chrisean was sitting on a new deal, new followers, and a stronger brand than before. She'd been buried alive in controversy and somehow crawled out wearing a crown made of headlines. Lemmy got hit with a PR crisis. Bino lost his spotlight. And the fans? They moved on to the next scandal, already hungry for another train wreck to feast on. That's the cycle of digital fame outrage. Destruction, redemption, repeat. Nobody stays cancelled. They just trend differently. Lemmy thought he could silence Chrisean, but all he did was amplify her story. Bino thought he could expose her, but ended up exposing himself. And Chrisean? She proved once again that she doesn't need luck, loyalty, or logic to win. She just needs W-I-Fi. Because in the end, she wasn't the victim or the villain. She was the headline. And in this generation, being the headline means you've already won. And that, my beautiful chaos connoisseurs, is how one scandal became the greatest digital circus of the decade. Lemmy tried to play puppet master, Bino tried to play hero, and Chrisean rock. She became the plot twist none of them saw coming. The receipts backfired, the alliances collapsed. And the entire internet learned one painful truth. You can't cancel someone who already turned their pain into a paycheck. Let's be real, this wasn't a feud. It was a cultural event. We watched power flip like a reality TV table. One CEO, one rapper, and one unstoppable hurricane named Chrisean turned a private fight into a national obsession. This saga had everything: betrayal, receipts, tears, rants, lies, lawyers, and a soundtrack of chaos. Even Netflix executives were probably somewhere screaming, "We should have filmed this." Because the Kardashians could never. Now here's where you come in. If you've made it this far through the wreckage, you're not just a viewer, you're a survivor of pure internet adrenaline. So do what survivors do best. Smash that like button like it owes you gas money. Drop your wildest theory in the comments. Is Lemmy done for good? Did Bino fake those clips? Or did Chrisean just outsmart the entire industry with one well-timed meltdown? Your comments fuel the chaos. And you already know I'm reading them like court documents. And don't you dare forget to subscribe. And hit that notification bell like it just called you delusional. Because on Buzz Crash, we don't just report tea, we pour it straight from the kettle while it's still boiling. Every week, the drama gets deeper, the lies get louder, and the truth gets messier. You blink, and you'll miss the next scandal leaking before sunrise. Think about it. Last month, it was Blueface and the baby saga. This week, it's Lemmy versus Chrisean. Next week, could be someone you never expected, because in this industry, loyalty has an expiration date shorter than a TikTok trend. So buckle up, charge your phone, and keep that popcorn close. The next betrayal is already buffering. Remember, we don't do peace treaties here. We do plot twists, explosions, and internet history. We don't whisper rumors, we broadcast realities the PR teams wish they could delete. And as long as celebrities keep spilling their own tea, Buzz Crash will be right here to catch every steaming drop. So here's your final homework. Stay loud, stay messy, and stay tuned. Because tomorrow's receipts are printing tonight. Lemmy might reload, Bino might relapse, and Chrisean? She's probably about to trend again before breakfast. This is Buzz Crash, where fame burns fast, loyalty melts quicker, and the truth always comes with a Wi-Fi signal. Hit like, comment, subscribe, and come back tomorrow, because the drama never ends. It just gets new lighting.